And just your comment quickly also about evangelicals and them ascribing, theologically to the left or, leaning politically to the left. I don't know. I mean, I think that over the past, 10 to 20 years, there has been a large, number of evangelicals who have affiliated with the right. And, I really do think, though, that there is a growing sense within the evangelical community all across the board that, we're not called to be to the right or to the left, and whether or not that's politically or theologically. But I do think that we have an obligation to be faithful to what we feel like God is calling us to do. And that could look like, right issue or left issue. I don't necessarily think that we have to ascribe to one political party or another. And I think, especially when I talk to a lot of younger people, that they don't want to be pigeonholed into even calling themselves an evangelical. I remember I was at a rally one time, and this woman was talking about her faith and how Jesus was real to her, and she was like, I was like, oh, she's such a good evangelical. And then the reporter asked her, okay, are you an evangelical? And she's like, oh, no, don't call me that, because and the reporter's like, well, why not? You seem like you go to church and it's an evangelical church. And she's like, well, I don't want to be labeled as an evangelical, because that label carries with it judgmentalist, or judgment and hypocrisy and all these things. And it shocked me, because she was talking about this community. Many of us ascribe ourselves as evangelicals, and yet she had this idea of who evangelicals were. And so I think, in general, that we have to be wary of labels as a whole, whether it's right or left or even evangelical, and really define ourselves by our relationships with Christ. And, I personally think that evangelicalism, it's a strong tradition, and I do hope in the way that we carry out our faith and the way that we talk about, even about social issues, that we do it in a way that reflects biblical values, not necessarily what would help one party or the other, or even the left or the right.